Hi everyone, it's Jean, and I'm back with the Jean's Gems video. It's been a while since I've seen you all, and I wanted to share something very exciting. So today is usually for me Mixed Media Monday, and I wanted to talk about something that I found recently, and it has been, I believe, reviewed a couple times on YouTube, but I wanted to show you a little bit about what we could do with these in making some bases for some mixed media tags or mixed media gift cards, and see what we could do today. So what I'm talking about are some paint sticks. They are normally for children, but they're tempera paint. And they are so amazing because they're paint, but at the same time, they're like a crayon. And the colors are very beautiful and vibrant. You get one set of larger ones. Well, not larger ones, but you get one set of 40 colors, 21 classic, 4 neon, 7 metallic, and 8 pastel. And then you can get a separate set of the pastel, which is going to have a couple duplicates from the original set. However, you get 20 of the pastel colors. Now, you don't need water, you don't need a brush, and they dry really quick. And it basically says that the paint is encased inside a small round barrel that allows kids to create colorful paintings without any mess. And they dry really quick, so you don't have to worry about smudges. They're washable, and that means that if you get them on your clothes, they're going to wash out. If you get them on your desk, they're going to wash clean. So I think they're really exciting, and I would like to see what I can do to make some tag bases. So what I have here is, I believe these are all classic. I'm trying to keep the classics together because I end up pulling something that's not. So let's start with this one. This one is a classic, and I have used a couple of these before, but I haven't done a whole lot of painting with them. So I kind of want to keep this paper in like four-ish equals, that's not even equal, but you know what I'm saying, 4 sections. So if we go over the lines a little bit, I'm not going to fuss about that. But the reason being is because I want to create a couple different card bases. So I think what I'm going to start out doing is just applying some of the paint to the page, and it's very creamy, as you can see. It almost reminds you kind of like a lipstick. And these are going to be fabulous. Now I'm going to see if they blend any. Looks like they blend a little bit and can create another color, like an orange on the end there. Isn't that cool? So I am going to use, some of the colors that I like, and just making sure they're the classics because I don't want to have metallics yet. And actually, let me have this blue and see what happens here when I put it on the... Okay, so you can see right there, when you put it on with the yellow, it actually creates kind of a greenish color. So the reason why I thought these would be really super fun for like mixed media backgrounds is because we can do all kinds of things with them, right? We can draw circles. So I drew a circle here and then a loop here so I can kind of color it in. And then we can draw some more loopy ones here. And just have a go at all the different colors. So as you can see, there's beautiful rich colors. This one is actually a neon, but let me get this purple. It's a metallic. Okay. Now they're wanting to confuse me. Let's see. Let's try this purple neon and see what happens. Okay, so it's neon, but it's not like way out there. Okay. So what we're creating basically is a little bit of a masterboard so that when we have our base ready, then we can do some things with cutting out some tag shapes. And one of the things that I often mention to people who are creating some type of masterboard is to remember that when you're creating a masterboard of sorts, you don't have to... trying to see if this one's a classic. Give me a second. You don't have to worry about so much what's going on in the large aspect. You want to make sure your paint colors match and, you know, you have beautiful range of colors. You don't want to create mud, you know, that kind of thing. But for the most part, once you create something with this, you get to cut this up into shapes then that are conducive to what you want to work with as your tag base. So let me put in some lighter blue here. I'm going to try to fill in most of the white area because I want to be able to go back after I paint and add maybe some other things to it. And I want the area that I am working with to be pretty much covered. And I want to see some kind of design in the page, not just scribbles. So, I'm going to try a lighter color over this and see what happens. Okay, so it works good doing these big yellow circles. I like those. So we'll put some of those in. And let's use this. I think this is a neon. Yeah, this is a neon green. So this will be a really cool color. And we'll use it to fill in some of the spaces. And a lot different than paint itself. I've noticed that with these, you know, if you're making an abstract or mixed media background of some sort, you don't, you want to be able to use all the colors, right? But you don't want to have to worry about things like mud occurring, and you don't want to have to worry about issues with your colors mixing and creating some ugliness. But I often quote an artist. Her name is, oh, now why can't I think of her name? She does a lot of glue booking, and her name is Deb. She's from My Vagabond Style, and I love her because she tells a lot of people when they're working in this type of mixed media or journaling type thing that you have to work through the ugly. And it's true. You make something and you think, oh my goodness, what is this going to come out to be? And nobody really knows until we're finished. But the great thing about doing something like this, where it's abstract and there's a masterboard type of design, we know we can go back and we can cut out different areas, and they're going to look cool just because we cut them out in a smaller format. And I've talked about that before, about how using masterboards can be daunting at first, but they are so fun because you get to add all these elements, and then when you cut it up, you get something completely different than what you planned on getting. And that is the most beautiful part. So I'm going to finish this, and I hope you all are seeing how amazing these colors are. They're rich. It's just so easy to, you know, make something look like a fun, colorful art project. So let's see. I want to get a new color in here, and I'm going to go with some lighter colors. Let me see about this pink. Okay, it just says pastel, so it shouldn't be anything we have to worry about. I don't want anything metallic on this at this point. So that's fun. And this color, it doesn't, they don't really tell you the colors, so you kind of, now this one that I just put on, that pink one, it got a little thick, so I wiped, just smoothed some of the paint out. And I'm going to go through underneath this yellow where I did those crisscrosses or tiger-like marks, tiger stripes, and just kind of fill that in. And just have a lot of fun with it. Okay, so over here, what do we need? A dark blue. Which one? Was this one a classic or a metallic? Classic. Okay, let's try this dark blue. And I'm going to just try like some triangle type shapes. We don't need to have everything be circles, even though circles are like my favorite thing. So, but with these, you don't have to worry about creating any particular shape, design. You know, you do what you like. Okay, so we're almost done this one. And this is, most of this is already dry, so we don't even have to wait to be able to cut this up and see what it looks like. However, I'm not going to do that quite yet because I do want to, let me just do a couple things along the edge here. Let's take some green. Oops. I was using this green for something else last night. And I'm just going to take it along the edges and make sure the edges are all, even though a lot of times when you're cutting something down, you end up not using the edges anyway. But there's a really cool abstract piece. And it's all dry, okay? It's all dry now. So nothing's coming off on my hands, which is great. So we can feel this and feel the texture of it, which we all love to do, and everything's dry. Now there's 1 or 2 spots over here, the last ones I did, that are a little thick, but they're almost dry. So here's our abstract piece. The only thing I want to do, I think I'm going to wait. Okay, so let's try another one. But this time, I'm not going to really make any designated lines because I don't want that to be a hindrance for me. So I'm just going to start again with the pink. I think that's what I started with before. And down here we have some green going on. And this orange, I think I used earlier, where I kind of made these tiger stripes. I really like that kind of design, and then being able to fill it in with color. Let's use, is this teal? Okay, this teal is classic, so let's use some teal on here. Some teal on here. What do we want to use teal for? Okay. So this is, you know, does it take artistic talent to necessarily use these? No, but some rules do apply. Like, for example, different points on your paper, you want to make them odd, not even. You want to try not to mix crazy paints that aren't going to go together. So obviously those are just some things you want to keep in mind. And what I'm using is called sulfite paper. So sulfite paper, I am not exactly sure what sulfite paper is used for. I think it's used for a lot of things, like painting on, like mixed media on, but it is light. So once I cut these out into the tag shapes, I'm going to have to also, okay guys, I'm going in with some brown. I'm going to have to also make sure that you know, they make sense as far as the color palette and, you know, what I've chosen to design for this particular project. I'm going to add some things on top of these, so these won't be the only things that you see.
I found this on the web.
Siri seems to want to talk to me today on my watch, and I didn't really need her help. Just having a fun play of mixing colors and creating more and more design, and yes, it's going to be abstract and look like maybe a child helped me do it, but you know, it's going to be different in the end. Alrighty, so I wanted to see, is this a, I'm not sure if this is a classic, but not sure if it's a classic red or not. I want to go around these like this and this one, and just kind of create some circles. And then this blue. I love when it says neon, because I'm not seeing neon in some of these colors. That's funny. So when the pink and the blue mix, of course, you're going to get a line of purple right there. That's fine. I like that. Not brown and blue, though. And then I'm going to take a little risk here. And this black is classic, and I haven't used any of the black yet. But I'm going to do I was watching someone else doing some, what they call asemic writing on their page, and they were saying that it didn't look like really writing. And it's because if you're going to do something like asemic writing, you need to make sure you remember the dots and the crossing of the T's, and, you know, make it somewhat look realistic. So, just a suggestion. Just a suggestion, darlings. I love putting the script on my page, either by stamping or by the writing. I think it's really a fun addition to mixed media. Okay, so I need to make, I know what this is missing. It's missing yellow. Okay, so let's put some yellow in here. Oh, this is cool. I love this. I'm gonna keep making sure I'm still on camera for you guys. I sometimes have to pull things closer to my face, but what I'm doing with this is I'm doing it more childlike, where I don't even purposely hold the paint stick at the you know, you hold it loosely is a really good way to just play and not worry about, you know, is something looking a certain way. So I'm going to let this one, I want this one to see if this one dries a tiny bit. If I can put, let me go over the tiger a little bit and see. Okay, so I can put another color in here. This is supposed to be like a neon. I'm not getting neon from it, but it's okay. It may show up later. Some things show up differently once they dry, so. Although these are pretty much true to the color that you get. I really wish I hadn't added the brown. I am not a fan of the brown. So I'm not sure if I can get maybe a blue to even it out. Let's see how we would do that. Okay. We'll just put these little curly cues on here and see if that'll help with the brown. Take our eye away from the brown. Let me see what this purple one is. Ooh, a classic purple. I didn't see that one before, or maybe I did. I don't remember now. But purple's one of my favorite colors to work with. Purple and any shade related to it. So. Okay, we're going to finish this one up, and I think I'm going to use my either this green. Let's see, there's green there already. So let me go back to my yellow. I just feel like this page needs more attention to yellow. And I'm going to fill in some of these empty spaces with the yellow also, just because I think it needs it. It needs something now to kind of brighten it up, whereas before we had things to lighten it. So now, I mean to darken it. So now we're lighting it up a little bit. I'm gonna light it up. Not that kind of light it up. Okay. Loving this so much. This is just like so much fun. So the yellow's being dispersed appropriately. And see, it does go over the first layer if it's pretty much dry. So that's cool. So those are just two really fun abstract things that are just for playing and creating. There's not any rhyme or reason to it. You're just having fun with your paint sticks, and you're creating a large background that will then be cut down into smaller pieces. And then the smaller pieces, we will be adding other designs to them. So one page I think I'm going to use for tags, and the other page I'm going to use for some gift cards. So the great thing about this, again, as I was mentioning to you, is you don't have to worry about the paint, because the paint's dry. You know, almost automatically the paint is dry. So it goes on so that it dries quickly you know, for kids, but great for us too, right? So I definitely think that if you're a mixed media artist, these are amazing and you need them. Now, I have tried doing some large background pieces with, I'll show you one. So I did, you know, I do like to work on magazine images, and this was yesterday. So I did use the green on this background, and it came out looking okay, but it's very difficult to get into these smaller areas. So that's one thing about these, is that they don't come in a narrow enough tip that you can get into some of those areas. But it turned out okay for the large background, and I will probably use them for that in the future. But for right now, I just wanted to show you guys what we could do with a little bit of fun coloring. And for you, now look at this. See this white? Normally, if you were using a gelato or another kind of paint stick, you're going to get whatever color you just drew that white on, coloring up your white crayon. But it does a mix because this is already dry on the page. So it's just magic. I mean, just magic. So, not magic, but somebody who was very creative that thought about putting tempera paint in a stick. And whoever it was, I love them. So I hope you guys stay tuned for part 2, because I'm going to put these on some stiffer cardstock, and then we're going to either do, like I said, some gift cards or some tags. So I hope to see you then, and we will talk to you soon. Bye for now.